Welcome to the KYC podcast.
Keeping you consistent.
Welcome to the first official episode of KYC, Keeping You Consistent podcast. We are your hosts, Sheridan Thompson.
Tom Ashton. So the point of this podcast is to hopefully build a community and inspire people to take action in their lives. You know, so many people I've met throughout my life, I'm sure Shez is the same, where we always talk about the things that we want to get started on, whether you want to start learning a musical instrument, whether you want to start taking your fitness more seriously, anything that you essentially want to do to progress your life. That's what this podcast is hopefully here to help you do.
And currently, ladies and gentlemen, we are in the middle of an active woodland and there seems to be some sort of treasure hunt race going on.
Yeah.
So you might actually hear people running around us and see people in the background. It's one of them. The whole point of this podcast is to just be out in the open and just enjoy nature and get out there. We don't want a confined studio. That's one thing we made as a decision at the start. So we've ended up picking up the DJI mics. Hopefully they are good quality for you. We're going to try and dial that in as it goes.
So, and as you can tell by our dress sense, awful. I'm wearing jet black on a baking hot day, and my friend here looks like a flipping flower. We're in the middle of a tulip field. All the bees are coming for him.
Bluebells. There's all bluebells around, if you can see.
Oh, no, that's nothing. If you can see behind us, there's thousands of them.
Yeah. But yeah. Anyway, the point of this podcast today is just to introduce ourselves, what our journey was and is currently, and what the message we want to get to you guys. So starting with you, Tom, like what made you get on this journey? Like obviously we've done it together, but just so people know, like your certain journey in your head, personality wise, physical wise.
I think it's a mixed combination of things. So one of the biggest contributing factors for my decision was age. I'm 32 years old now, which although I don't consider myself old, I am well aware of changes that are happening in my body in terms of like, I'm nowhere near as flexible and just durable as like when you are when you're a teenager. You know, you jump out of a tree of a teenager, you get up and walk it off. If I jumped off that branch now, I'd probably end up in hospital. So, you know, age was definitely one. But also I think the one thing that everyone can resonate with is that I've always wanted to do more with my life, you know, and like a lot of people, I've been waiting for the right time, which never comes, you know, always making up excuses to not get started. And so, yeah, like this year for me was kind of like you know what, screw it. Less prep, more action. And I've just gotten started. I think it sort of started with a break into fitness journey. So I started running with Shez, but I didn't really take to it initially as he did. For me, it was kind of like, I'm out here working on my health. It didn't feel like a passion. It felt like what it feels like when you go to the gym, but you know you don't really need to go to the gym. It's like, I know I should be here, but I can't be bothered to be here. Thankfully, I've passed that phase now, and I actually really enjoy being out and running. You know, I still struggle getting up in the morning, but I do get up later than I'd like. But I do get up, I do get out. Unfortunately, I'm suffering from a knee injury at the minute, which is really bugging me, but it's part of the game.
You got that from Sheffield Half Marathon, though.
Yeah, so this podcast is probably jumping into existence whilst we've already started on our journey. This is not the start of our journey, but it's pretty early on. Yeah. So I did basically zero prep for the Sheffield Half Marathon, and then he just suggested that, you know, he basically entered himself in it whilst we went to do our morning Saturday run, and then he was just like, yo, I've entered the Sheffield Half Marathon. You want to do it with me? And I was like, yeah, screw it. You know, I did do it. I got like chip time, 2 hours, 10 minutes, which wasn't bad. But yeah, unfortunately, got an injury on my knee, which I'm currently now working through. But yeah, everything so far. There's a lot of other stuff I'm going through in my life that I'm working on at the minute. Just because I'm trying to basically follow my passions. Everyone's got passions, even if you haven't discovered them yet. You know, there's something out there that you will find that you will just love to do, regardless of what time it is, when it is. You're just like, I'd love to do that right now. But less of my journey now. Let's hear some more about yours.
Mine just simply was, I was a smoker and my health was not the best. I had my little princess, my daughter, come along at the perfect time for me. Definitely arrived at the right time, as you would know.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just went through a lot of things that got me stressed out in life, put me through some mental struggles. And I needed to get set up, really. I needed to make a change, and it got to the point where it was either do something now or I'm just going to deteriorate even worse. And I chose do something now. Started with a couch to 5K. With the goal, I remember actually why I started running. It was because I watched a YouTuber, Nick Bear, obviously the business owner of BPN. And yeah, he was doing this ultra marathon, this last man standing. And for some reason, I was like seeing the pain in what he was going through, like physically, not mentally. I'm hoping he's good mentally, but like physical pain in the documentary he was doing. I was just like, yo, I need something like that. I need something that not only lets me experience the pain I'm suffering deep down, but I want it so it channels it in a good way, not so much in a way where I'm just constantly hiding behind a cigarette or behind like crap living. I want it to channel it into something where I can work towards that's going to benefit me, but also channel it so I can get the frustration and the pain out on certain events. And yeah, that's my mission. I'm aiming to get for an ultra marathon by the end of 2026. Currently working towards a marathon. We've just ticked off half marathons, like Tom said. And yeah, like moving forward, that's exactly it. I'm just going to keep focused, keep consistent, and hopefully inspire a lot of you guys along the way. And eventually my daughter, as she grows up, hopefully she can look back and be inspired by what her granddad's done.
Raises suspicion on who the father is, doesn't it?
Hopefully my daughter can be proud of what her dad's accomplished in documenting his experience and everything. Now, obviously, me and Tom, we're not only... So this podcast is us talking about our journey and like giving as much as advice that we're coming through, because we're not going to ever talk about anything that we've not experienced ourselves. But
yeah, we're not approaching this as like fitness gurus,
no,
fitness influencers. It's kind of like
a chill and chat and like,
yeah, it's like our vlogging journey. There's going to be lots of wisdom. I do think there's going to be found in this channel. At the end of the day, we are middle-aged men. We've been through a lot.
Yeah,
you know, obviously, I'm sure anyone who's struggling with quitting smoking or just even quitting vaping. Here's a man who's done the habit, quit it. Personally, I've never smoked, so I'd never offer advice on it.
Yeah, it was hard. It was a hard thing to do, but sorry to interrupt, but my particular experience, I just cold turkey that it was the right time. And I believe when you want to quit, you'll know when it's time. Like, that's just me. If you're saying you want to quit, but deep down in your head, you're not really wanting to quit, you're not going to quit. You need to know it's time to quit. And that's
I wouldn't just say that as well, because obviously you took different measures as well. Like, yeah, you went cold turkey, but you used that app to essentially highlight all the benefits you were getting, like the money you were saving, being reminded of how consistent you've been. Yeah, but I think now you've passed through that phase.
Oh yeah, I don't check it all the time.
Yeah, it's like at first you were keeping track of it to try and help you stay consistent with it, but now you've just reached that point where you're not labelled as a smoker.
No, that's it. I've got a timer to set.
Look at this guy.
I've got a timer to set when it's been a year.
So I don't know if you're like sucking the blood out.
Yeah, oh yeah, look at that.
No, that's not what it was.
That's disease, HIV.
So I mean, I'm gonna die. First episode. Next episode. Yo, what's up, guys? I'm your solo host, Sheridan Thompson.
Tom's not here with us.
He couldn't keep it consistent. He did.
Raise a buttercup to him. Raise a blue bar.
Like we were saying, it's not going to be dedicated to specifics. Like, if we offer advice, it's going to be advice that we ourselves perhaps obtain through our own
knowledge and going through it.
Yeah, like our own experiences. Like me personally, like when you're training, don't train to injury. I didn't train to injury, but the thing is, at the minute, I'm still trying to run, and I think it's making it worse.
I trained to injury.
Yeah, this idiot trained to injury. Even basically broke his ankle and was just like, screw it, I'm still going to run.
Yeah, I ended up completing a 10K race with a broken ankle.
Don't do that.
No.
Don't do that. It's nothing to aspire to.
No, it's lesson learned. Like, you obviously... Hold on. This is booking me. I found something problematic. Yeah, so...
Hold on a minute, I just got to fix my chair.
Yeah, it's... When it comes to your own endeavours and your personal journeys, you're going to be faced with challenges that at the time seem like a great idea to do, and they're not. Like, at the end of the day, that's the whole point of trial and error. You can hear everyone's advice on matters like lifting at the gym or running form, but the reason why I got the injury in the first place is because I watched a running form video. That's how you run. I changed my form and it ended up rotating my ankle to the point where it was not in its natural position. And then pressure over time snapped it. And then it was the fibula bone, which was the back one, ended up snapping clean. And at the time, I thought it was a ligament issue because it felt like an elastic band snapping on my leg. Ended up swelling up like a balloon. I thought, chill, rice it, hang it up to dry and like chill with it. And yeah, it turned out to be a break. And I still ran thinking it was an injury that was just coming and going. But yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that really bugs me about the social media side of fitness now is there is so much crap out there.
If you adjust your wrist 45 degrees on the dot and do this, you'll end up with arms like this.
It's like those get shredded in 30 days. Yeah, it's called take a picture of that guy and post it.
I thought that was something.
Imagine that, he stood there like that.
Straddling the tree. Oh, yeah. Nah, but yeah.
But this is the intro podcast, and this is essentially about us. So you've heard a little bit of both of our stories and where we're going. And I think the podcast going forward is just consistency. We want to build a community where essentially you guys are driving this podcast forward with your stories that we can talk on and reflect and hopefully give advice and even obtain advice from people that are even more consistent than us.
Yeah.
Because although we do believe consistency is the key, that's why we call the podcast KYC, it's not always possible. Okay. Yeah. Sometimes things will happen in your life, things will crop up that knock your routine out of whack. But it's not about, I broke the streak. At the end of the day, if you're learning to play the piano and you have a daily routine of 20 minutes and you miss out a Sunday, you haven't failed. You start again on Monday, and just understand that sometimes shit's gonna happen.
Yeah, exactly that. Like you should don't hold yourself too much accountability, but hold the end goal accountable.
Yeah, no. So I wouldn't say it like that because I'm a big guy on accountability. I'd say don't over criticize yourself.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's a better word.
Yeah, because I'm a firm believer of accountability, especially when you're like our age. You're a mature man. You understand how the world works. You understand a lot about life. You don't make decisions and then say, "Oh, it wasn't my fault." No. But if you, like I said, if you did skip out, Sunday's piano session, don't call yourself shit. Don't insult yourself. Don't degrade yourself. You say, "Look, I missed out on today. That's fine. Tomorrow back on the grind." And if you can afford the time, maybe turn a 20-minute session into a 30-minute session. Build it back up.
But it's sort of like who was it that said it? It's always good it's better to be consistently good than occasionally great.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
That's a quote from somebody I can't remember off the top of my head, but that's exactly how I sort of. As long as I'm consistently good at doing one trajectory, and in many fields, work life, home life, as long as I'm. What the fuck is that? That wasp? That wasp, is it?
I don't know. All right.
Definitely break.
Action.
If that is a wasp, man, I'll be breaking my 5K PB right now on camera. Not a big fan of wasps. I look like a big tulip though. So yeah, consistently good instead of occasionally great. And
you know what I think it comes in line with? It's like motivation versus discipline.
Yeah.
It's like people who wake up on those days and like, yeah, I'm going to hit the gym, I'm going to smash the gym on that Monday. And then they go to the gym, they demolish it. And then wake up Tuesday and they're like, I can't be bothered.
Exactly how I treated my running journey
it's like, at the end of the day, you're not gonna get shredded in one gym session.
No.
You're going to get shredded over the course of 100 gym sessions.
Multiple.
So rather than going to the gym on a Monday and absolutely ruining yourself, go to the gym Monday and do slightly more than your body's used to. And that's how you're going to grow.
Exactly that. So yeah, on this Keeping You Consistent podcast, we want people that are getting into their own journey to let us know in the comments what we can help you with or what we can inspire you for, or just in general, like this, it needs to be a community where it's like a two-way conversation. And not only are you going to help us and inspire us to keep consistent with our endeavors and our YouTube channel, but we're hopefully going to inspire you to keep going and hold you accountable for your dreams and your ambitions. And that's sort of our goal for this. So that being said, if you guys are interested in joining the community for this podcast, hit that subscribe button. It will be an amazing achievement for us and you guys as a whole if we can get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2026 when we or myself do the ultra marathon.
I mean, he says that we're due to do a marathon in October, so I don't know when he plans to fit this ultra marathon in there.
December. Last day. I'm doing it. Event or not, 50k or minimum. 50 kilometers minimum is getting ran.
It will be interesting because we've got like 26 weeks to prep for the...
It's 25. We're doing Yorkshire Marathon basically.
Yeah, the Ultra Yorkshire Marathon.
And if you guys are interested in the prep for that, we have got personal channels. All the channels are going to be linked in this channel. So like if you go into the uploader, mine and Tom's are going to be collaborated with this podcast at all times. And in the description, so be sure to check out our personal journeys. We're pretty much the same on that channel as we are with this, but this is more of like a conversation of me and Tom, inspiring, catching up.
Yeah, this is where I think we just want it to be like the general hub, where we're not gonna expect the audience to know everything that's happened in our personal channels. Absolutely not. Yeah. This is the place where we're going to talk about what we've been up to, and we want everyone's story. Whether you've been consistent for 5 years and you've got a load of experience to share, we want that. Whether you're really hesitant on starting and you're just looking for maybe that little bit of inspiration, a little bit of guidance, we will give everything that we can to help people. And then the people that are maybe in the middle of their ground, any hurdles you've encountered along the way. Because as Shed pointed out, obviously...
Shed? Who the fuck is Shed? You got a mate called Shed.
So as Shez pointed out earlier, he went through a period in his life where it wasn't good, for, personal reasons. And that sent consistency, routine and everything out of whack.
Yeah.
And I'm sure many people have gone through that in their lives, and it's always one of those things where it can be that thing that just absolutely cripples the mountain of a journey that you want to build. So we want to basically try and help people, not avoid that because it's unavoidable, but stabilize and understand that continuing in your journey and staying consistent is worth it.
Exactly. So yeah, if you guys are interested in the journey, let us know in the comment section. We are going to involve you in the conversation. So in future videos, your comments are going to come up. We're going to answer them and we're going to have a nice conversation between us and the viewers.
Absolutely. While saying that, this has been the first official, this has been the opening of the KYC podcast. We've been your hosts, Sheridan Thompson, Tom Ashton, and we will catch you in episode 2.
Keep you consistent, ladies and gentlemen.